Is your Social Security safe? Or will Washington's endless political battles leave millions of Americans without the benefits they've worked their whole lives for? With Congress locked in fierce debates and new proposals emerging every week, the future of Social Security hangs in the balance. The ongoing discussions in Washington about Social Security have reached a critical stage, with both Congress and the White House facing mounting pressure to address concerns over funding, benefits, and the future stability of the program. Lawmakers from both parties are locked in debates over how to ensure the long-term solvency of Social Security while balancing fiscal responsibility and the needs of millions of retirees and disabled Americans who rely on these benefits. One of the key points of contention is the proposed increase in the Social Security payroll tax. Some lawmakers argue that raising the payroll tax cap, which currently limits how much high earners contribute to the system, could generate billions in additional revenue. Proponents of this plan believe that requiring wealthier Americans to contribute more is a fair and necessary step to keep Social Security solvent for future generations. However, opponents, particularly conservative lawmakers and business groups, warn that higher payroll taxes could discourage job creation and economic growth, potentially leading to unintended consequences for workers and employers alike. Another major proposal under discussion is adjusting the full retirement age. Some policymakers suggest gradually increasing the retirement age beyond the current threshold of 67 for those born in 1960 or later. Their argument is based on the fact that life expectancy has increased over the decades, and therefore, people are spending more years receiving Social Security benefits than originally anticipated. Critics of this approach, including advocacy groups for seniors, argue that raising the retirement age would disproportionately impact lower-income workers and those in physically demanding jobs, who may not have the luxury of working additional years before claiming benefits. The cost of living adjustment, COLA, has also been a focal point in the negotiations. Inflation has placed additional strain on retirees, and while Social Security benefits are adjusted annually to reflect changes in the cost of living, some lawmakers argue that the current method for calculating COLA does not adequately reflect the true expenses seniors face, particularly healthcare costs. A proposal gaining traction among progressive lawmakers involves shifting to an alternative inflation measure known as the Consumer Price Index for the elderly, CPIE, which could result in higher annual benefit increases. At the White House, President Biden has reiterated his commitment to protecting and expanding Social Security, pushing back against any cuts to benefits. The administration has proposed closing loopholes that allow high-income earners to pay less into the system relative to their earnings. Biden has also voiced strong support for increasing benefits for the most vulnerable, including low-income retirees and widows, emphasizing that Social Security is a lifeline for millions of Americans who have paid into the system for decades. However, Republican lawmakers have countered with concerns about the growing national debt, arguing that any expansion of benefits should be accompanied by cost-cutting measures to ensure long-term viability.